Yeah, yeah. It's the rap Diablo. Macho when I drop flows. Bar gets raised up. It's me and Petey Pablo.
Boom. What's good? What's good? Welcome to another episode 3 of Sports and Spoilers. I'm your host once again. You already know Damien, Dame, that guy, your mans. You know what I'm saying? That's me, and I'm here to talk to y'all, entertain y'all, hopefully, and we just kind of chop it up, be a little silly, talk about some bullshit. And you remember the first episode we did Porzingis and the Punisher and how those related. You know, and then the second episode we did, there's a lot of trades in the NBA that week, so I just focused mostly on basketball. I told you what my favorite shows were that I was watching currently at the time. And then I just talked mainly about who I thought were the biggest threats to the Warriors coming out of the East, who they probably did not want to see coming out of the East into the finals because we all know the Warriors are going to the finals again. Y'all like that, huh? Y'all like that? Yes. Fly, Eagles, fly. Says Nick Foles on the side. You know what I'm saying? Because he's the MVP. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. Let me take this off. That heavy bling. You know what I'm saying? Let me just set that to the side. Usually it's back there, but I wanted to bring it up close so I can show y'all, you know what I'm saying, what that ring do. Alright, but anyway. So those are the things that we talked about in the last couple of weeks, okay? This week, of course, it will be a different subject. Every week will be a different subject. There's no continuity. You know, there's not a to be continued. You know what I'm saying? But I will finish breaking down or just kind of talking about what I think about the Punisher, but just not right now. There's other things that I want to talk about. It's how my mind works, okay? So, right now what we're going to talk about is Scottie Pippen. Yes, we're going to talk about Scottie Pippen, okay? Because, like, we talked, not we, but people who talk about Scottie and the things that he said this week, right? What did he say? That basically LeBron is not on the level of Michael Jordan nor Kobe Bryant. Okay, he hasn't passed either one of them. um, we need to let the Kobe thing go. Let the Kobe thing go, please. All right, but before I get too deep into that, let's just look at some of Scottie's quotes from years past. Because he's all over the place, right? It's like there's different versions of Scottie. You know, he's all. Look, the first thing he said, because I got notes. I got notes, right? So I was looking at articles from 1987. Just looking at some extra information about Scottie before I did this, but in May 2011, Scottie was on Mike and Mike, and he said that Michael is the greatest scorer of all time, but LeBron may be the greatest player. Okay, though he went to clarify later on, probably because Jordan called him and fired his ass up or something like that, or some of his people like. What the fuck are you talking about? He was like, don't get me wrong, MJ was and is the greatest, but LeBron could by any means, get to his level someday. That's not what you said the first time, not even close. But okay, guy. In 2013, Alonzo Mourning was at an opening. He was at the opening of a Microsoft event. Okay, and somebody asked him about LeBron James. Asked him about Michael Jordan. Okay, and he decided then that he was going to offer up some unsolicited story about how him and Scottie Pippen were at MJ's birthday party. I don't know, he said for like a week or something. They were just kind of hanging out, talking. And Scottie Pippen said he thinks that LeBron would kick MJ's ass in a game, one-on-one. There's that. Okay. In 2017, Scottie was on First Take, and he said LeBron has, quote unquote, probably passed Michael Jordan. Then in 2017, he also said that LeBron hasn't even passed Kobe. Wait, so he hasn't passed Kobe, but he passed Jordan? So now are you saying that Kobe is greater than Jordan? Oh, no. Nobody says that, right? Except Kobe stands. Not even respectable Lakers fans say that because they are out there. Even though I do hate you as a Spurs fan, okay. But you have to tell the truth. There are respectable, knowledgeable Lakers fans out there, and they do admit that Kobe is not the greatest player of all time. Although that I'm sure that would be nice. As much as I love for Tim Duncan to be the greatest player of all time, he's not. I'll take greatest power forward though. In May of 2018, he said, this is kind of a long one, okay, so bear with me. The comparison is unfair. They play different positions. I know a lot of times we love asking that question because we like hearing the storylines behind that. But the truth of the matter is, it's not a fair comparison to LeBron or Michael. One guy is considered a two guard and another is considered a small forward. They're definitely great in their era. They're both the greatest in their era. But to say who is the greatest, we'll never know that. In my mind, Wilt Chamberlain is the best basketball player, but Michael and LeBron should never be really compared because it's almost like comparing Kareem to me. So it wouldn't be fair. First of all, nobody would ever compare Kareem to you. You don't get compared to people of that stature, okay? Like your play style a little bit sometimes gets compared to LeBron, but more you hear Magic because Magic is the all-time great. Okay, you're great. Okay, but no, but nice try. But where was that before? Now it's not fair to compare them. We shouldn't compare them at all. It's like comparing Kareem to Scottie. Okay, uh, and Wilt Chamberlain is the best basketball player now. Wilt, where was that in all them other quotes? Oh, you thought that was all? That's not all. In April 2018, he had just said, "There's no game I would ever play in and pick LeBron James over Michael Jordan. No game." That was his quote. Okay, that is a direct quote. And now he says, that LeBron is not better than MJ and Kobe. And the question that I really want to pose is, did he finally get it right? After all this jumping around and wish-washing, flip-flopping, who are you today, Scottie Pippen? Did he finally get it right? The answer is halfway, because LeBron is not better than Jordan. It doesn't matter the longevity of it. The longevity is a different argument entirely. His longevity has been great. It's been phenomenal. It's been astronomical. Okay, but what it doesn't equate to is you being the greatest player of all time when you've had so many black marks and question marks on your career. You know, uh, it's just the fact of the matter. We don't need to go deep into the analysis of why LeBron is not better than Michael Jordan. I'm not going to talk about the clutch gene because I do think LeBron is clutch. I do. But he's not Michael. He's not Michael. Kobe, on the other hand, you need to let Kobe go. You motherfuckers. You Kobe stands. You need to let it go, okay? LeBron is greater than Kobe was, all right? LeBron has been the best player on every single team that he's been on. Every single one. He's been the driving force for every single championship that he's won, okay? Kobe has won 5 championships to LeBron's 3 championships, okay? Fair. We know that that's not the only metric. It's not the only metric, okay? Like, when people talk about Jordan being better than LeBron, right? The LeBron fans, they're like, oh, just because he has 6 rings, then how come Bill Russell isn't because it's not. Look, those are straw man arguments because you know that is just a piece of the equation, okay? It is extremely impressive. It's an extremely impressive feat on Michael Jordan's resume to go 2 three-peats and won 6 championships, 6 finals MVPs, never allowing a game 7 in the finals, okay? These are phenomenal feats, but these are all just pieces of a very large puzzle, okay? But people like to try to focus on one thing and pick that apart, and then at the end of picking apart, they're like, see? And it's like, no, but nice try, okay? But Kobe wasn't even the best player for his first 3 championships. He's never really been considered the a hands down best player of his generation because Tim Duncan and Shaq were there. Shaq was the best player on those teams. Then Shaq left, and he couldn't even make the playoffs, while Tim Duncan was steadily making the playoffs, and he's winning championships. He hasn't missed the playoffs like ever. Tim Duncan never missed the playoffs in his entire career. Let's just think about that. Okay, he had 50 wins every single year except for one, and that's only because it was a lockout shortened season, and there were only 50 games in the entire season. But if you look at the winning percentage for that season, it was on the same barometer as all the other years. I think he ended with like 37 wins out of 50. Lost 13 games. Oh, bruh, come on. So you had Tim Duncan in that era, who was a winner, dominating his position and dominating the game, winning championships and MVPs, 2 regular season MVPs, 3 finals MVPs. What? What? Yeah, Shaq doing his thing, being the driving force, winning the MVP in the first 3 championships for the Lakers, okay? And then, of course, LeBron came. And when LeBron came and started doing LeBron things, and even though he got swept in the '07 finals, when he took that team there and watching that man play basketball, it was like, is Kobe better than him? Probably. At that point in his career, probably he still had more clout, right? But it was like, but this LeBron kid, it's about to be his league, like real soon, real soon. And like I said, that was '07. And so that was when Duncan won another of his championships, his fourth one. So like Duncan still reigning supreme. I don't know, man. This is not something that it should be this difficult for people to grasp, okay? Because the things that LeBron is able to do is more than what Kobe was able to do. And Kobe, you got to respect the hell out of him, even though, as a Spurs fan, I hated playing him, especially in crunch time. He would make some of the most ridiculous shots in the last 2 minutes of games. It was such a pain in the ass. But don't you think LeBron's a pain in the ass? Hmm? Hmm? Yes, he is. He's a huge pain in the ass. And people like to mock him. They always like to mock the next great thing because everybody likes to cling on to the last great thing. But it is okay to move on. Okay, so how can Kobe be greater than Braun when Braun has been the greatest player in the league for like, I don't know, what is it? Like 10 years straight, plus, maybe. 10 years. It's a 2019 now. It's 2009. He got beat by Orlando. He shouldn't have got beat by Orlando and shit. After that, that's when he goes and he joins up with D Wade and Chris Bosh and shit. But the things that this man has been doing in the league, we can't say that his coaches in Cleveland were phenomenal or the cast was phenomenal. They weren't. It wasn't as bad as people try to make it out to be, but it wasn't. It wasn't the shit. He didn't have a great all-star teammate to pair alongside him. Although I do love and always respected Mo Williams. That boy made some big shots, man. Big shout out. So was Scottie Pippen right? The answer is he was half right. Okay, just let go of Kobe. All right, and then you'll be there. And now what you're doing is you're sowing chaos. You change your mind in a flash. You know what I'm saying? Because some of these quotes that I read you were like from month to month. There's one in April, then there's one in May where you said this and then you said that. And so it reminds me of The Flash. Michael Jordan is Barry Allen. He's the superhero. He's the man. He's the guy. He takes down the villains, and the villains are the stars of the other teams. You know what I'm saying? We know what MJ did. We know he's the man. 50 grand? Can't be stopped. What are you talking about? Scottie Pippen is Harrison Wells. He's Harry Wells. Okay? Harry helped. He helped MJ, helped the Flash develop into what he, ultimately became, which is a superstar winning multiple championships, right? But Flash didn't learn all that, how to be the Flash on his own. he was helped by Wells, by Harry Wells. You know what I'm saying? So that shit was extremely beneficial to him to have him by his side. He was like his main sidekick. He was the one who helped him the most. Yeah, we know Cisco is like his best friend, but we're not talking about best friends here. We're talking about the partner that helps elevate you. Okay, and that was Harry Wells who did the most to help Flash elevate in the show, The Flash. The thing about Scottie Pippen, aka Harry Wells, is that if you watch the show, there's been many different versions of him. You know what I'm saying? Well, it doesn't matter. He could be Sherlock Wells, Wolfgang Wells. You know what I'm saying? He could be H.R. Wells. There's lots of different versions of Wells, you know, and sometimes you root for him, and sometimes he kind of gets on your nerves, and you're like, just go away. Just go away. And that's how I feel about Scotty sometimes when it comes out with some of these ridiculous takes. When he was saying that LeBron was better than MJ, he was the annoying Wells that needed to go away. You know? Now I think he's Eobard the reverse Flash. You know? He's just out here sowing discord. He's just causing chaos. If you're watching the current version of Flash, that you know that Eobard Thawne is actually in the future right now, and he's like Flash doesn't know, but he's kind of helping Flash's daughter and shit like that. So you know, he's still kind of on Barry's side because he's envious of Barry. He has said as much. You know, Scotty, he was never the number one guy, and sometimes some of his comments have come off as sour grapes. It's like, God damn, everywhere I go, they ask me about this fucking guy, Michael. You know what I'm saying? Every year, they're asking me about Michael. They don't ask Michael about Michael. It's because Michael is unavailable. You make yourself available, and you were the sidekick, sir. So you got to answer those questions. There was even one where he said he doesn't have to answer the question again. I think that was in like 2017, and he's still answering the question. You're going to keep answering the question as long as you keep showing up to these shows, sir. Just develop some sort of consistency. You know what I'm saying? Are you HR? Are you Harry? Are you Eobard Thawne? You know what I'm saying? Who are you? I want to know. Don't y'all want to know? Don't you want consistency from this guy? Don't you want consistency in your lives from people in general, right? That's all we want. We want people to be consistent, keep it 100, be you all the time. That doesn't mean you can't have different moods and shit, of course, but there is no new information that come out lately to make you go from saying LeBron is better to LeBron is not better. There's no new information really that can have swung the argument that way because MJ isn't playing, so it's not like he's done anything new. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what's up with your boy, but y'all need to get him. Anyway, that's it for today's episode of SNS Sports and Spoilers. I hope you enjoyed it. I had fun doing it. And I'll be back again next week, of course. You already know what to do. Subscribe, hit the likes, tell your friends about me if you enjoy the podcast. Share it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Hey, you already know how we're going to do. We're going to blow this thing up. If you disagree, if you do agree, if you think my shit was stupid and you think that I'm trash, give me suggestions, shout it out. I don't give a damn. Talk to me. I'm always down for some constructive criticism. So leave comments. Hit me up on Twitter at Sports and Spoilers. Check out my Instagram or Snapchat at Sports and Spoilers. Or you can come talk to me when I go live and I'm streaming on Twitch playing games and shit like that. And that's going to be also at Sports and Spoilers. Simple enough? Alright, bet. You have a good one. And I'll see you again next week.
Rap Diablo. Macho when I drop flows. Bar gets raised up. It's me and Petey Pablo.
Oh, you motherfucker, you.